Let's build something. So you know, the teaser for this is multi-select. And what we want to do is we want to be able to go through some source code. Here we'll open up a good old project out here called Object Initializer Test. This one we've been using as our default test project. And the idea is that I want to go through some source code and I want to say, well, okay, let's say, for example, I wanted to take out everything that had to do with red brush. So I'd select that to the clipboard. I'd select that, then I'd come in and I'd tab down to find the next reference, and I'd say, okay, let's grab this method as well. So I'd select that. And the idea is that these selections would persist, both the one up here and the one down here. And then when I hit cut, they both cut to the clipboard, and then I presumably go to another class and I paste them. They would then paste in. So one of the benefits of multi-select is it allows you to consolidate distinct code that's in different places, and so that's one of the benefits, consolidation. The second benefit, and just as I start talking, my nose is starting to plug up. Just great. This is going to sound wonderful. So just the second benefit is it serves as a potential entry point for refactorings. For example, if I only selected members inside here, I could then go in and do an extract interface just with the selected members. For example, I could have, like, if this were public method, here we'll make it public, if I selected this method and then also this method here.
Oh, yes.
I could then hit a key and then refactor and take only those members I've selected out and create an interface for those. So those are a couple of the applications that I'm envisioning for this. And as such, what I want to do ultimately with this is make it so that I want to roll some of what we're doing down into the DX core for a future release, probably 11.2, so that we'll be able to actually see, is there a multi-selection out there, and then all sorts of plugins can work with that multi-selection if they want to.
Okay.
The other thing you could do too, Rory, is think about this. Let's say I cut these to the clipboard, and then I also cut any methods that have to do with them to the clipboard, and I go to another class and I paste. Since I know about these things, I can actually find the fields in the target location and paste them right next to those fields, and find the methods and take the methods and paste them as well. Okay, so there's some serious potential. So as a result, what we're going to do is what we're going to put on the clipboard is actually probably not, well, I was going to say not a text representation, but maybe not just a text representation. We'll probably also put a very sophisticated smart representation of what's on the clipboard so that anything can use it. And likewise, that representation should be available for plugins in the future that want to deal with multi-select, because like I say, I want multi-select to be a native, you know, first-class feature of CodeRush. So we'll some of the code that we write today will roll down into the DX core for future release, so that you can go in and say, okay, what is selected, and get distinct information about what's out there and selected. Like, are they members? Are they in the class? That sort of thing. Okay?
So, I can see people looking back at this and going, this is yet another one of those features we wish was just everywhere in Windows. I can see so much potential for this. It's a very simple core idea, but the places you can go with it, even after the basic initial version, seem to be pretty huge.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting that you say that, because with this, it does seem to be like you say, it's kind of a different way of thinking, right? It's like normally we think of selections as just one piece, and the reason why is because that's how they were originally written, right? Almost every single thing that's out there has the ability to do or limit selections essentially at one, with the exception of list boxes and list views, things like that. We are familiar with multi-select when we have items and we can control-click on them, and the idea is somewhat similar here, as we want to be able to select multiple items within code and have information about it that's rich and meaningful. So we'll call this CR multi-select, and this will be the foundation for something that may become, you know, like you say, very important. Already exists.
You've been practicing.
I was kind of practicing is the answer to that question. Hold on, give me a minute, and I want to delete that folder that's out there, and then we'll do it one more time.
So just to answer a question that's already appeared, Benjamin House has asked us whether or not we will be taking the approach of preserving the lines of whitespace between multiple selected items or consolidating the whitespace and pasting in one contiguous block. The truth of it, by the sound of things, is we're going to do both. So we're going to have a smart piece of the clipboard, what's cut, which will understand that these things came from different locations, and we'll be able to reparse that and put them back. But if we have a different application that only understands the text quantity, or the concept of text, we can just have the contiguous block paste from there as well. Is that kind of what you were thinking?
I love it when you answer questions. I love it when you ask and answer questions, Roy. It's awesome. So yeah, instead of saying both, what I would have said is we can do either.
Fair enough.
It's totally wide open what we can do, right? The code we're writing, we can do any of these things. In fact,
okay.
So all right. So let's.
What we should do then, presumably, is we should do the simplest thing that works first, and then expand on that.
Okay, let's do that. So to add a selection, we need an action. An action is going to be bound to a shortcut binding, and so that will allow us to add the selection. So we need at least two actions for this. We need one to add selections and another one that will be useful to clear selections, and maybe one more. Yeah, let's do one more. And this is going to be to kind of do this to reduce. Let's say we're building the selection up and we add something. We say, oh, I didn't want to add that piece. Well, I don't want to clear the entire multi-select. I just want to clear the last one added. So it's kind of like an undo.
Kind of stack.
Yeah, is what it's kind of like. And so we'll, and then I suppose we might as well have one more that redoes, that re-adds it back in. And then what we can do is with those two, we can bind these two to the same keys we use for selection decrease, selection increase, and then use a context to decide if multi-select is available. If it is, we'll use these commands, we'll bind to these commands instead of the normal ones, the normal selection increase and decrease. Does that make sense?
Okay. It kind of does, but I can see, I'm not sure about binding them to the same keys, because I can see situations where I'd want to use selection increase, decrease,
yes.
then copy to the sort of selection.
You know, you're absolutely right. I thought of that the second you said but, and I was like, oh, yeah, you're right.
But it's good. The actions will be useful, even if we don't use those exact keys to do it.
And yes, again, yeah, you would cut me down and then you save me in the same paragraph, Roy, and that's why I love you, man. That's why you're here. All right. So
I'm loving the idea behind this. This is sounding really good.
All right, so we have 4 of these in here. What we want to do is we want to go in and we want to give specify the action name for each one of these. So one of these is going to be, I'm going to start all of these with multi-select. Okay. And so we'll say multi-select add. This is going to be the core, the main action that we're going to be working and testing with right here. Multi-select add. The description is going to be adds the current selection to the multi-selection, I guess, is what I could write here. Whoops, what am I hitting? I hit some key that I didn't want to hit, I guess. So we turn to the multi-select, the group of multi-select. I don't know what to call this thing. The multi-select.
Select list.
List. Beautiful. Adds the current selection to the multi-select list. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so let's copy that to clipboard because we're probably going to use this elsewhere. So this action number 2, this is going to be multi-select, select clear. And this is going to clear everything, clears the select list for the active view. So speaking of views, this is a view, right? It's a view into a text document. So we've worked with this a lot in the past. In a lot of these webinars we talk about text documents and text views, but this is a view, and I can split a view. I can have a selection here and a different selection up here. Okay? So we're going to support the same thing. Now, one of the things you're going to learn about in today's webinar is something called storage. And CodeRush, the DX core, makes it easy to store any object you want with a view. You can also store an object with a document as well, if that makes more sense. But for what we're doing, we want to store an object with a view. So we don't want to, maintain a list of all of the possible views and all of our state with those views. We simply want to just store it with the view. So when a view becomes active, or somebody presses a key, we go to the active view. We say, what is your multi-select list? Give it to me. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're going to do.
It also has the advantage of, presumably when a view goes away, we shut it down or close the document associated, we'll lose our data there deliberately because we only want this to persist as long as we have the document open, like a normal selection.
You are correct, sir. All right, clears multi-select list. This one is going to be multi-select. I don't know, should I call it undo and redo? I think I will. And we'll.
I've got a quick question.
Sure.
It was regarding your undo and redo. It kind of suggests that these are chronological in some sense. So the last one that you did is the one that is sitting kind of on the top of the stack. However, there is another potential order that you might consider, which would be the order in the document. And I'm curious that when we sort of do a pseudo cut of multiple items and then paste them again, are we going to be which order are we going to consider, I guess?
Well, I was going to do by order added. I think that's more meaningful than from the front or back. You could actually add 2 more commands that take it from the top and bottom if you wanted to. Or you could do something like this where you make a selection and it does an intersection of the selection. It removes the piece that intersects. You could create another thing. You see what I'm saying? If you wanted to. I mean, it's not hard to do these right now, but right now, so anyway, most recently added selection from the multi-select list. And that's multi-select undo, and then this one's going to be multi-select redo. I wasn't actually intending to go this far to do the undo and the redo, but you know what the heck, we'll put them on here, and if we
things have a way of evolving as you talk about them, don't they?
It was recently undone or removed selection back to the multi-select list. Yeah, they do. So
do you know what else? You know, you're talking about ways in which this can be expanded. I can see totally in my head cutting 6 different pieces and then pasting them later on into a template, kind of as a way of creating that with the gaps pre-made. Oh,
brilliant idea. I love that, because the template's now got the go-to command that we wrote in the past.
Yeah.
Remember that? So yeah, we can, yeah, that's a good idea.
All kinds of fun to be had.
There's definitely some potential here. There's clear, ACT clear, we'll call that. All right. So those are now got some good names, and now we can just double click on these and generate some. Now, Roy, you're probably pausing because you're thinking, well, Mark's not going to hit run yet. And the reason I'm not hitting run yet is because we just don't have enough. We need to create a partial selection, and we need to create I'm sorry, let me explain this. So we have the multi-select list, right? We need that, and then we need, within the list, it's going to have a list of individual selections, and the selections will have information that's meaningful to us. So there's 2 things we need to create. So one of these is what I want to call a partial selection, like this.
It's kind of a structure for any. So effectively, it emulates the normal selection we already have. It's just we can have more than one of them, so they're all part of the main selection. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to type in NSRG. SRG is my new acronym for source range. I added this the other day when you saw us here, so that we can specify these. So I'm going to make this just a public field here because I want to be able to serialize this. Okay. I want to be able to serialize it because it's going to the clipboard. Okay? So with that said, let's also give it the serializable attribute. All I did up here is I just did open bracket S. There are a lot of templates for common attributes, so that's one of them. Just give it the open bracket and or if you're in VB, the open angle bracket, and then the letters, the abbreviation for the attribute you want. Okay, so it's serializable, so it's going to have a source range. That's one of the things it's going to have. However, well, the other thing it's going to have is text as well. So we'll create a new string field here, call this text, and let's make that public as well. And so at the very least, you can imagine this, right? It's got a range that it was cut from. It's got a text as well associated with it. The reason I'm storing the range is, well, I guess there's 2 reasons. One is that let's say we copy this to the clipboard, or let's say that we initiate a refactoring. That source range could be useful for analysis. Okay. Yeah. Where is that in the original piece that we took this from? The other reason that I want to have this here is what happens if we create two selections that overlap, like this one and maybe that one. Well, what I want to do is I want to check to see if they're overlapping. If they are, I think I want to consolidate them into a single one.
The other advantage is that we're talking about selections here. We mustn't assume that we're always going to copy these to the clipboard, because we're going to actively have 3 selections. But it might be that we want to, having set for those selections, to go and paste something over all 3, so maybe replacing individually. We want to know where they came from in order to do that.
Wow. Now, I have not considered that as something I was going to write any. I'm definitely not going to write any code for that. That is some complex stuff. Because think about in Excel. Excel is the closest thing I can think of to what you were just talking about. Excel has multiple cells, and what happens when you try to paste something that's bigger or smaller over the multiple cells? Excel will often say, what do you want to do? Shift these right, shift these down. They don't quite match. So there's some user interaction there. So I guess the answer is maybe. I guess what I was thinking of is let's say you have multiple selections, then you say you want to do some sort of process in there, like analysis, like maybe format those, clean up those areas.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, so we're selecting just areas, and then we want to say, right, perform this operation over each and every one of these areas.
Something like that.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, I almost forgot. I want to have a context as well. Context provider will allow us to will allow other parts of the that are other DXCore plugins to find out if a multi-selection exists or not. And so let's go here. We'll give it the provider name, and we will say system / and so the reason I chose system, let's go into options here so you can see this. Here we go. This is the context picker. And down here in system, we have like all of these kinds of things here, these status kinds of things that are here. I could also put it in, there's another place I can put it in as well, and that is selection. I can say editor selection. Maybe I'll put it there. That makes more sense. So I'll say multi-selected. So I'll say editor / selection / multi-select exists. Okay? Or maybe selection, multi-selection. No, because these are real selections. So I'll just say multi-selection exists, something like that. So editor / selection / multi-select exists. There's kind of a mixed convention. Sometimes you see things like this without any spaces. Other times you see things with spaces. It really doesn't matter. And so description, satisfied if a multi-select list exists for the active view. So CTX multi-select exists. All right, come over here, context satisfied, and we'll handle that as well. So we're going to need to handle all of these pieces. Let's set breakpoints here, 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 and here. So at the very least, we have these two things and a partial selection. Now, I want to get, this is kind of so you said let's do the simplest thing, but I'm going to kind of break from that right now in this moment because if I have this, for example, selected, that's a method, right? To me, that's useful to know. So what I want to do here is I want to create something of type language element type, and this is going to be, we'll call this element type, and set that equal to language element type.unknown. But what I want to do is intelligently set this if what we have selected is something that's an actual language element, like a member or something like that. So that's partial selection. Copy that to the clipboard. Let's create another class, and this is going to be called our multi-select. This is the beast that has everything in it. And at the very least, it's going to have a new list of what's on the clipboard, which is that partial selection right there. And we'll call this the selections. I'll make this public as well because I want this to be serialized. And then I also want to maybe have some other things in here. I want to have the file name that it's associated with because I think that's going to be useful. And the class name. Let's initialize these to string.empty. Just give me the class name. And maybe a Boolean contains only members. because I think this will be useful.
Okay.
Set that equal to, well, that's going to default to false, so we're okay with that. And make that public. So this is what's going to be serialized from here. This is also going to be serializable. Let's go move this out into its own file. There's our multi-select class. There's a partial select class. And then let's write some code here. Let's come in here into select add. This is the main piece right here. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go check to see if we have an active view. So we're going to go into CodeRush.textViews.active, declare local for that. Let's call it active view. If that's null, we want to get out. Otherwise, we want to come in. Oh! Hold on. Forgot something. So, you know, I talk about, like, you know, what I'm supposed to do here, by the way, Rory, at the very beginning, is supposed to say, here's what you're going to learn about today. And I actually have it written down. Let me show you that list right here. This is what we'll see today.
Okay.
I'll talk about some of these, but the one I didn't talk about is this one, intercepting commands. And actually, clipboard magic is, well, not really magic, but you'll see some stuff here, some .NET stuff. But intercepting commands. So the idea is, look, we want to be able, when somebody hits copy, to do something really intelligent, right? Now, CodeRush already does this. If I hit copy here, the copy key, Control-C, selection increase or whatever, smart copy kicks in. It's smart copy, right? It just kicks in, right? If I'm here and I hit copy, it does that. If I'm here and I hit copy, it does that. If I'm here and I hit copy, it does that. If there's no selection, there, it does that, right? So that is something that's an example of intercepting commands. The copy command comes through, and CodeRush says, "Oh wait, what's going on? Oh, I know. Let's do something intelligent here." We want to do the same thing. So do the same thing. We want to click on our plugin design surface, go to the events, and we want to get command executing. Not executed, but executing. This gives us a preview before it goes. And in here, we want to say something like this: if ea.command name equals and .cut, we're going to do something. Okay. Else, if, oh, that's not going to work. Oh, look at that. Basic block, nice. If it's equal to that .copy, we're going to do something. And then otherwise, we're going to come down here and if it's equal to edit.paste, we'll do something else. Okay, so back up over here to this part where I said hold on. So what we want to do now is we want to make a call to a method that doesn't exist yet. Get multi-select from the active view, like that. And that's going to return a new multi-select instance of it. Like that. Okay? Or is that you typing? Are you like multitasking at this point?
Yeah, I'm doing a little bit of everything.
All right. It's okay. It makes me sound like I'm typing twice as fast. It's awesome. All right, so get multi-select. We're going to go into the active view. And what we want to do here is we want to say active view dot get storage. Oh, what is it? Storage? There it is. Storage. Dot get object. Whoops. Get object. Right there. And give it a name of the object. Oops. As the multi-select. This can just simply be returned. We'll call this multi-select list. Use a constant for that. Boom. Okay, so that's get multi-select. I'm going to create another method that's similar to this. Set multi-select. Oops. TV will turn that into a void. Give me a void real quickly. That stands for type of void. Okay, set multi-select, and this is going to take in a new parameter type multi-select. There we go. And here what we're going to do is we're going to say ActiveView.storage.attach object. And take a string and a value like that. Okay? So we have a set and a get from the ActiveView.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is going to get it from us right here. If it's null, then we want to create it.
Sure.
File name equals, we have an active file name in here. The file node.name, we could do that.
Yep.
All right, and then we can say, oh, let's also give it a language as well. I don't think the view has the language, but it does. Oh, by the way, look at that one. This is awesome. Get language element under mouse.
Yeah.
This is, if you're here, it actually, as you move the mouse around, it'll tell you what language element is right underneath it. Really, really beautiful, really powerful. Okay, but we're not talking about that today. All right, so let's go from there to the text document, .language. There we go. So let's do this. Let's declare this. I guess I'll make an auto-implement properties fastest thing I can change into a public field. So these will all be serialized. And all right, so there's language. We just set language and class name. All right, that's the other one we put in there. Class name is equal to ActiveView. No. CodeRush.source.ActiveClassName. Okay, so we've just created there's the multi-select object that we've just created. And then we want to come in here and we want to go down here. We're going to say multi-select.add, and then pass in to ActiveView. We call this add selection. Okay.
Yep.
Let's declare
We're
that.
not going to make excuse me. Not going to make assumptions about there actually being an active class, are we?
No.
Because I can see us wanting to use this in plain text files and maybe unsupported languages as well. This could be useful all over the place. But if there happen to be recognized active classes using languages, obviously they'll be set here.
Similarly, here element type could be unknown for things.
Sure.
But the point is, what I'm trying to do here, and also see multi-select is going to have contains only members. What I want is this to be true. If this is true, I then want to run through the selections and rely upon what these element types are here.
Sure, yeah.
Because then I can go through and I can say, okay, I've selected only members, and I can do really advanced smart things with it. That's kind of what that's why I'm kind of breaking a bit from your let's do the simplest thing.
No, that's cool. As long as we're not, drifting too far.
Yes, sir. So just in case anybody didn't know what's going on, I actually do report to Rory. I report no, it's true. It's actually, Ray told me when I was hired, he said, I just want you to know, Miller, any new hire we ever hire from this point forward, you report to them. You will always report to everybody that works at this company. No matter, I don't care if they're getting me coffee, you report to them. I'm like, yes, sir. So, all right. So let's do add selection here. So we're in multi-select, and we want to take that text view that's out there and the active selection inside that text view and do something with it. I'm going to do a similar check right here, just in case it's called from anywhere else, so that we don't presume necessarily that is going to be true. And then we want to come down here and we send a new partial selection, create that, and then we're going to work with that right here as we go down. Oh, we need to go in here. We need to see what the selection is. So we come in here, and there is a property in here called selection. And let's declare a new local for that. And we'll call this like text view selection. And here, if this is null, we're out as well. In fact, let's come down here and let's do this. And okay, so we've got a partial selection, and then what we want to do is we want to set the properties inside of that partial selection. So what do we have in there? We have partial selection dot text That's equal to, we do text view selection.text, I think. There you go. So that's the selection of the text right there. Partial selection dot source range is equal to text view selection dot range. And we want to say selections dot add. Is there anything else I missed in there? Partial selection. Let's see, are there any other properties that we talk about? Source range text, element type. Element type. So this is, I think I'm not going to mess with this for now, but I'll put a to-do here for me. Say calculate element type. So we'll fix that in a little bit later. And then we're just going to call, we'll just do the add selection piece there, and that adds the selection. So, okay, there's that piece. Let's do, what else do we need to do? The copying to clipboard. I think I want to do, I want to do that as well. I want to go in here. So here, if command.cut, oh, you know what we want to do? Something like this. If multi-selection exists, then we're going to do some code. So let's come down in here. Whoops, I guess we make this a property. And inside here, what we want to do is we want to call return. Sorry, I'm going to make it a method as well because I want, and then we're going to say CodeRush.textViews.active. So we're passing that, and let's declare that. And so let's close active view. Or maybe not active view text view is what I want to call this because it doesn't matter. And now what I want to do is call, what is it, get multi-select for this. And declare local. If it's null, then we're going to return false. Otherwise, we're going to return multi-select.selection.count. It's greater than 0. Okay?
Okay.
Everything okay? It's a little scary to me. I'm just
thinking in the calling code for multi-selection exists, perhaps take that if outside of the existing one, just say if not exists, then exit the command executing. Just simplify.
Show me where. Here?
A little lower down, yeah. You've got a nested if. Take the nested if out and go if not and then exit. Or return.
I can do that right up here probably. Well, I don't want to do it here.
You don't need it inside of each and every one of the other 3 options.
I do want to do it inside each one. Well, here's the thing. Well, where were you thinking about putting it? You think about putting it at the top?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's why I don't want to do it here. The reason why is because commands are firing thousands of times, every few seconds. And maybe that may be a slight exaggeration, but certainly hundreds of times a second. And I don't want to go in and do this call every single time a command goes. Instead, I want to first see if the command is something I'm interested in, and do this comparison first, because this is a much faster comparison than the other. And then inside have the longer comparison secondarily.
Okay.
It's a performance concern.
Fair enough.
All right. So if multi-selection exists, then I'm going to execute a command called cut. What? Oh, Visual Studio. I love you, but all right. Then let's come down here and do copy as well. Hit escape. I know there's some secret command I can do. Right?
Space.
I just don't know. I don't care.
That's all right.
I'm sad. Okay. It's probably my allergies that's making me be this way. All right, so we've got cut and copy. Then we need something down here that says if clipboard has multi-select, something like that. I'll make it a method. Then we're going to come down here and we'll say paste. I don't have any idea what's going to be in here yet. We'll put a breakpoint there. And let's declare this, paste. This is where we can do breakpoint there. Clipboard has multi-select. Let's right now return false so we get rid of this little error. So, and what is going on here? Why are we? Interesting. Okay. So, so we have copy. Let's work on cut and copy. So For cut and copy, we want to come in here and we want to say get multi-select text view is not active. So for local. So we're never expecting this to be not null because of where it's being called from, but if it's ever called from anywhere else, we'll just have this checked. So we're going to get the multi-select. If it's null, then we're out. Otherwise, what we want to do is we want to say multi-select.copy to clipboard. Okay, makes sense? Mm-hmm. And then we want to say multi-select.delete, something like that.
Pretty good, yeah.
And I have a feeling we need to pass in this for the delete text document. Or we could say CodeRush.documents.active text document. I think we need that.
Because I'm just wondering, does the multi-select already have a reference to the view, or did we take that out?
I don't think I didn't know we added one. I was thinking about adding one, but I have not.
Okay.
So for right now, so we have add selection, but we're not actually storing that. I'm going to just kind of keep it like this for now and pass these pieces in. So let's go get a copy to clipboard implementation. Let's put that in there. Let me hit escape. Let's throw our delete in there as well, and we'll work on these pieces right inside of here. All right, so copy to clipboard. We're going to work with custom data formats in the clipboard. And so the way to do that, you need to go into something called data formats, and then make a call to get format. And here you just pass in, I just got a string, there you go, the string name of what we're going to put in here. So we're going to call this multi-select. Let's call it dxcore.multi-select, multi-code select, like that. Just trying to make something unique here is what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, because this has got to live in the ecosystem of the whole of Windows, so we've got to be fairly unique.
And so what happens is this get format call will add this as a custom clipboard format if it doesn't exist, and then so it'll add it if it doesn't exist. So at any rate, regardless of whether it exists or not, we'll get something real back. So it'll register it if it doesn't exist, and if it does exist, we'll just get that format piece back.
Okay.
So then we want to create like a new data object. Let's declare that, and let's make this type data object. And then we're going to come down here. We're going to say data object dot set data, and then we're going to pass in the format. Now, by the way, we could do this: data formats dot text, and then pass in a text version of this. Call this to text, or should I call it? Yeah, we'll say to text, like that. Okay. So you can pass that in, and then let's go ahead and declare that. This a type string. And here, the to text version is basically going to be iterate through all of our selections and append there. So we'll say vs result equals not empty, and then we'll say selections on the clipboard for each, and then we're going to say result plus equals selection dot to text. I'm not doing a toString on purpose because I kind of want to do a toString that actually reveals these other things that are not part of what was cut, like the language element, the class name, things like that. Sure. So that's kind of why I'm using toText instead. And I think I want to throw an environment new line. No, you know what? I'm going to do that inside toText. So the idea is this: is if we have a whole bunch of things like this is on the clipboard, that's on the clipboard, I don't want them all in one line when they're put out. I want them separated by one line. So the toText is going to do that. We could also do things like, using the language element, say, oh, these are the fields, and these are the methods. I have comments or something inside that text output. If we wanted to, you could do something like that. But and then down here we're going to say return result. And let's go implement this. There's our toText, and here we're going to say result instance is equal to text, and then we want to say if text dot ends with If not, text ends with enl, environment new line, then result plus equals enl. So that ensures it. If it does end with it, in other words, if the selection was, if one of the selections was that, then we don't need to add an extra line at the end of it. Does that make sense? Does that worry you at all? Are you okay? I'm okay with that. I just want to make sure.
No, that's really good. That's really good.
Yep. I got it really good. Okay. That's going to make a big difference on my next review. I can't wait for it. All right. So, okay. So that's the two text. Let's jump back to where we were. There's the set data. Okay. And so there's that one. But we also want to set data that has our custom format on it. This one.
Okay.
Right here. Okay. And here, oh, it's actually format.name. Right there. And the piece we're going to pass in there is simply this. Right? This is serializable, so it should all work. Okay.
So can the clipboard actually contain multiple formatted items like that, or do we have to do just one of those? Do we have to make a choice?
Clipboard should be able to contain this. Yeah,
okay.
This is, yeah, oh, you mean these? Absolutely,
yeah.
The clipboard can do these. I thought you meant, I thought you were referring to the complexity of this object itself. No.
No, I figure the serializable nature of that would sort itself out quite well.
It does, yeah. And,
I was purely referring to the fact we have two set data statements.
No, you could. This is actually the beauty of the Windows clipboard is you can have multiple formats, put it out there, and then the application which use it can then use it as it sees fit.
Excellent.
Like we were putting bitmaps on, we could also put ASCII versions of the bitmaps if we wanted to as well.
And if we paste into Notepad, it'll go with the text, whereas if we paste back into Studio-supported CodeRush, also CodeRush-supported Studio, yeah, we'll have all our data back the way we want it. Excellent.
All right, pass in the data object. And what's this other one? Copy. True if you want data to remain on the clipboard after this application exits. I guess we could say true.
Yeah.
You can do that. All right. So that is copy to clipboard. We also need, we have the delete down here as well. Let's do that, the delete on that. And you know what I'm thinking about on this? Hold on a second. So I'm calling delete here with the active text document. However, we do know the file name already here. Are we setting this yet? We are setting it. So we do have the file name, okay, when we create it. So the reason I'm thinking this is useful is that if somebody else gets a multi-select object, and let's say that the file has closed, and they want to operate on it still, right, and they want to make a call to delete on it, then they're not going to have necessarily active text document on it. I guess they could open one up. What I'm thinking is, let's get rid of this parameter, and let's instead just work with, let's go instead with CodeRush let's make a call to make it easier for calling pieces. We'll call get here and pass in the file name right there. And we'll typecast that to a text document because that's the only kind of document that we can actually delete from. We'll get out of it. And then we're going to say this. We need to, where's our selections? There it is right there. Selections, for each, partial selection and selections. Then what we want to do is we want to go into text document and get, we'll call Q delete. So we're going to set up all these Q delete operations, and we'll pass in selection range, source range. I think I want to rename this to just range. Can I do this? There we go. All right. So so Q delete that, and then we want to call text document dot apply Q to edits like that. In fact, this takes an operation parameter like that, which is essentially what the name of the let's go in here for which parameter. And let's go in here and say cut, multi-select cut. Cut as the operation. So that'll show up in the clipboard history. Okay, so that's a cut. The copy Looks like that.
Pretty good. Yep.
In fact,
well, you know, you can see what's coming here.
can I do? Oh, I can't. I should have done it in the extract method. Is what I should have done this. So let's do this. Let's do this. Extract method. Yeah, let's do that. We'll call this copy. And then we'll get rid of this. Is that too weird?
No, that's fine. Makes perfect sense to me anyway.
Then I need to come down here and do this. Yeah, no, then delete. I don't know. I'm not liking it. It's not readable as readable to me anymore. You know what? You're gonna hate me, Roy, if I undo this. You know what? I'm gonna keep it for now. I'll keep it so nobody hates me because it works. But it's like I'm not liking that this action copy actually returns something. You know, I kind of want to have one more method that.
It's interesting you say that. I mean, I often find that when I write some kind of a list wrapper of some description, when I'm adding something to a list, I like to return the item I just added just so that I can semantically use the return value in code that follows it. So to some extent, that follows that.
I'm not liking the symmetry, the asymmetry. So now I like it better. Now I'm happy.
Yeah, okay.
I've got cut and copy that actually returned the multi-select, and now I'm not so freaked out. I'm good. Okay? So copy to clipboard, then we do delete. So there we go. So there's our cut and copy operations.
Mm-hmm.
Phew! That's not
okay.
bad. You know what we need, though? We need one more thing, and then I think I'm ready to run. And that is, go ahead, what do you want to say?
I was going to say we need a clear operation so that we can try multiple attempts.
Oh, right. We don't have the clear. And the other thing we need is we need to get it from the clipboard as well.
That's
we need
true.
to go back to the clipboard and say, hey, come back out here, away from, come back. So let's create a new method, a method that returns an instance of this class, like that, and we'll call this from clipboard, like this. And actually, you know what I should have done? Let me show you this. Oops, let me redo it for a second. Let me copy that to clipboard. Let me undo. If I had done an uppercase M and then the slash, it would have been static, which is what I wanted. Okay, from clipboard. And this is going to, we need to come in here, we need to say clipboard.get data object, like that. Just kind of local for it. Here's the object. And then we'll say if data object dot get data present, and then we want to come in and get it that our clipboard format name, which is, what do we call this? We didn't do anything for it.
Just visible above there, yeah.
Right there. Let's introduce a constant. Let's call this clipboard format name. And then we'll say if that data is present, then we're going to come down here. We're going to say return data object get data, pass in the format name as a multi-selection, as a multi-select. Otherwise, we're going to return null. So now we have from clipboard available. Oh, and now that we have from clipboard, what'd you say?
Well, I'm just looking. You're doing a single get data where you had previously two set data. Will it know which one of the two parts of the data you wanted back? So in other words, is that cast and multi-select going to work?
Yeah, what happens is, here, let me explain something. Sorry. Yeah, the piece that's not clear is, see this?
Mm-hmm.
It's equal to that.
Okay. Fair enough. So yes, you're automatically declaring which piece you want back. You would have used something like the word text otherwise.
Yes. Yeah, I would say data formats.text if I wanted that one. So this is checking to see if this baby is there. I could put this one here instead of format.name as well. But the reason I reuse this is because this has this dual functionality where it both registers if it doesn't exist as well as get it. There's two things. So this is really necessary to simply register. Right, that's what's happening here. Is we're just simply registering it in case it doesn't exist. That's what's happening. So that's why I reuse it to show, because otherwise this would look like it's not being used, and I guess I'd have to, it'd be just weird. The code would look weird or stranger. So, all right. So there's from clipboard. Back over here, I was just going to fill this out. So it's going to say return multi-select dot from clipboard is not null.
Mm-hmm.
I think that should work. Oh, you know what? We could probably do it. Just realizing we could create just a very simple one that does the equivalent of this right here. Let's do this. Use local clipboard has multi-select like that. Extract method. Boom. Oh wait, why didn't it? Oh, we had 2 outs? Shoot. Why do I have 2 outs? I didn't need to go back and look at that.
Because you need the data object to get the data.
I see. So it's not going to be as happy as what I was thinking of. Okay. So let's do this. Let's just do a static method that returns a bool. Clipboard has multi-select. And then we'll come in here and say, turn that. Yeah, I'm not into this duplicated code here, but I'm going to, well, I guess we'll do this. We'll inline this temp for now and just deal with it. But we have this separate piece right here just for efficiency. Yeah, this may drive people crazy, what I'm doing, because you can see I'm kind of a little bit anal retentive with regards to writing code that's efficient. So apologies, but so if clipboard has multi-select, so this is just going to be this. Yeah, we'll set the clipboard has multi-select. So in fact, what I could probably do is just inline this, inline the method, delete it. So now we just have multi-select clipboard has multi-select. On clipboard is on clipboard. There we go. Okay, it's just a little bit more readable. Okay?
Yep.
It's interesting. I'm wondering why I'm getting this underline here on this. Is this like ambiguity? Why is there ambiguity there? I can't have a method the same name as my property? Interesting. All right. Let's do this then instead. I don't think I have an inline property one, so let's get rid of this. And then let's just pass in the active view there. And the same down here. Okay, you said we didn't have a clear.
As yet, we haven't. So we've added repeatedly potentially to the multi-select, but we haven't cleared it back down to 0.
All right. So it goes like this, I think. Oops, we would say CodeRush.textViews.active. All right, we would say. All right. So now, if we do get something, what we want to do is we want to say. I think we want to do this multi-select dot. Let's just call a method called clear that doesn't exist yet. Let's build it, and we'll set a breakpoint here. And I think at the very least we're going to say selections dot clear from here. We may do more later. So there's the clear. The other thing I want to do is I want to go to, I want to say, probably I want to create a method called remove multi-select. So it gets rid of the multi-select from the current document. In fact, when I cut, I want to do the same thing. Where's the cut? All right, and remove multi-select is going to look like this. So I have a document I'm passing in, I don't. So I'm going to say CodeRush.textViews.active. I said document, I misspoke. I meant to say text view. So active text view. Oops. And then we're going to come in here and say storage.remove object. And we want to pass in this, the name of our storage object right here. We're using the get object and attach object. Okay, and that will remove it from the active view and it's no longer there. I think we're about ready to run. That's what I think. So
Okay.
We don't have any display yet, by the way.
No, we don't.
Noticed.
So that would be a job or something else. But so yeah, when we make each selection, it'll be kind of add this selection, add this selection, add this selection. But only the last one that we made will be selected for all intents and purposes initially.
Let's run and see what we can do on this. Hold on a second. I brought up the options page because I wanted to get some shortcut bindings taken care of that I'd done and set up in practice. I wanted to clear them out, and we'll go ahead and set them up now. So we have, I think the bindings are already there because I was working on this before in the practice mode. So, all right, so let's go into shortcuts. And I put these in selection, defining and multi-selections. So I created a folder here, and then I have two of these, multi-select add, and did I give them the same name? I did, and then the other one is multi-select clear. Is that in there as well? They're both in there, good. All right, so num enter. So yeah, what's the binding going to be on this? You can see I'm a big fan of using num plus and num minus on the numeric keypad to expand and reduce selection. So if you've got a numeric keypad that you on your keyboard and you use these, using num enter you might like because it's right below the num add, and you can the num plus, and you can just hit it very quickly and easily. If you don't like that, you can choose something different. The context for both of these is simply just the code editor. The code editor has to have focus, and those are the shortcut bindings there. So let's open up Object Initializer Test. See if I got breakpoints set in the right spot. Got one for add? I do. Okay. So let's go in and let's step through the code and see what we've got. All right. So here we go. Let's take our red brush and let's make a selection and hit the add button. What? Oh, are you serious? That is happening from, I'm going to shut this down. That's happening from another plugin that I guess I forgot to delete. I think I must have compiled it or something like that.
That's a preview of what's to come, isn't it?
It's a preview of what's to come, it is, yeah. It's like, wait a second, Miller's not doing this all live from scratch?
He's not coded it all already?
Miller used to do
I didn't see him write that.
Miller used to do it all live from scratch, but then everyone, he ran into some trouble for things that were like unexpected and decided that's not going to happen anymore. So it looks like that is locked up. So let me see if I may have to close this one down. It looks like it's loaded in here. Let's see if it's actually loaded in this. If I hit the key, it's loaded. All right, so we're going to close this one down, and I'll have to restart this one. Start this instance of Visual Studio. Sorry about that. It was a little preparation faux pas. I'll take this moment to consume some blueberry yogurt covered pretzels. Well, maybe not. We're loaded up pretty quickly. All right, let's come in here. Let's say open. Let's grab the multi-select solution out there. And let's run. Yeah, I used to eat cashews in the middle of my sessions. You know, get that extra protein. And
yeah.
What I really need is a plate of, I need like a little bacon dispenser. Like, you know those straw dispensers where you push down on the handle and the straw pops up? I need a bacon dispenser that's just like that. You push on the handle, a little bacon, freshly cooked, bit of, you know, using high-speed, high-powered microwaves to just zap it in a second.
Is that next week's plugin, yeah?
Well, I was just thinking, you know, that technology that Bill Gates is using to identify the female mosquitoes and zap them with the laser.
Okay.
You know, he's actually detecting and Bill Gates is personally building this on his own. Nobody else is doing this. It's just him and a laser, and he's detecting the that may not be entirely true. He's detecting the frequency of the beat, right? Well, we use the same technology. I'm going to call this thing the baconifier. And in the baconifier, it can detect the areas of bacon that are not quite perfectly cooked and direct the microwaves to that area. Same kind of thing. And maybe also zap mosquitoes as well. That would be awesome because you don't want mosquito bites while you're eating your bacon. Okay.
Well, you don't want them eating your bacon either.
Exactly. So I'm going to try hitting the key now, and I'm expecting to get to a breakpoint. There we go. So now we're at a breakpoint. Multi-select add. So let's step through the code that we wrote and see what we got. We've got an active view.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to the storage object. Nothing. We're expecting nothing back from this. Oh, we're actually stepping into CodeRush code here. Let me jump out of here. There we go. And so multi-select should be null. So we're going to create a new one. We're going to assign the file name. So you can see it's resources.cs there over on the right of the preview hint. Yep. Way over there. The language is C#. Class name, and we've got an active class name. Properly disposed resource. That's the name of the class. Okay? So we've got a multi-select. Oh, did I forget to add this? Hold on. I need to come in here and I need to call, what is that method? Set multi-select. Pass in the active view and our multi-select object, because we have to store it.
Yeah.
Right? If we don't store it, we won't see it next time. Boom. Now we're stored. Now it's awesome. Now, this is why you may consider this crazy, but I actually like doing this. I'm actually going to jump around up here for a second and call get multi-select again. Now it should give us something that's real. See it?
Yeah, we go.
Awesome. Right? And if you don't believe me, we can do crazy stuff like this. We can do set to null. I just want to show people this because once you start realizing that you're not really bound by any particular sequence or order, you can kind of do some fun things in here. So now multi-select is null, and let's come back in here and get it. So we'll see we're getting it. We're verifying that that's working. Now I'm going to skip that whole block and come down here. A little crazy, I think, maybe, but anyway, we're going to go and
continue rocks.
It does. It really does, right? You can do all sorts of crazy stuff. Remember that time it was like, there was some time we were working on stuff, and Rory, you were like, there's no way you'll be able to fix that without stopping. And I was like, wait a minute, Rory, watch this, right? It is powerful. All right, let's go into add selection. And we're here. We're getting the text view selection. That's real. I think I want to do something else here that says if text view selection dot exists, if it doesn't exist, ooh. Ooh, look at that.
That's nice.
All right, we'll try this in a minute. All right, so here we go. Partial selection, there's the new one. We're setting the text. What? Oh no! Why is the text empty? Oh, maybe we didn't, maybe, did I fail to select something? Maybe I selected, oh, it does not exist. We're already in that state. Okay, so we got to come back up here. So
Meta continue to the rescue.
Yeah, there we go. So it doesn't exist, boom, and then that's okay, we can redo that line. Now let's see what text is. Private solid red brush. I didn't select anything. I had nothing selected. Range is equal to the range of that piece. Selections.add partial selection. Good. All right, so run. Good. That's selected. Let's come down here, hit the key here. Look, see what's happening?
Yeah, you go selection expansion because it knows you don't want to copy nothing to the clipboard.
Wait, hold on. I was actually hitting the wrong key. I was hitting the plus instead of enter. Let's do enter. There's enter. Sorry about that. It looked like I was doing it. I was just hitting the wrong key. All right. So down through here again. Let's see when we go through here a little quicker. Add selection is the interesting piece. Now we should see selection expand when we run it. There it's happening now. Now come down here and hit enter, and now it's expanding. Come down here and hit enter. All right, let's copy it to the clipboard. There, okay? So where's our breakpoint? So it's over here in plugin 1. So we want to come over, or actually maybe cut to the clipboard. Who's cut? Okay, so let's set a breakpoint here. We're going to say cut, Control X. So command name is edit.cut. So by the way, I'm just getting this from Visual Studio, right? If you go into the tools options in Visual Studio under keyboard, you'll see all the command names there. And we can look for those commands. Now, something I forgot to do is we want to come in here and say EA dot cancel default. So get set to whether this default behavior of this command will be performed by Visual Studio or not. Okay. Note, setting this property to true does not stop other event handlers from handling this event. This event is the one we're talking about, the command executing event. So other DX Core plugins, even if I come in here and I say, what is it again, cancel default, set equal to true, other handlers of this will still get it. This may be a problem, but we'll fix it. So anyway, let's go and dive into cut. Dive in. We dive into copy. Get multi-select. We got one. By the way, let's see what we got. Selections. 4 selections.
Sounds about right.
Seems reasonable. All right. So we won't drill into that, but it sounds like it's about right. Copy to clipboard. Let's drill in there. Data format. There it is right there. Format.name. There it is right there. There's the part I was talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Data object. We've just said text. Oh, to text. I didn't call that. Let's see what that evaluates out to. Okay. There we go. Let's look at it. Private red brush. There's the character return line read. Character return line feed. Private solid brush, blue brush. So there's red brush, then the blue brush, then the orange brush. Then
use that right extreme magnify plus. You can choose. I think it's a text visualizer.
Ah.
And,
beautiful. I did not know that existed. How awesome is that? So there you go. That's what's on the clipboard. So we can do this. That's the to text version, right, where we put a character return at the end of everything.
Yeah.
Excuse me. All right. Set data object. So it's on the clipboard. Everybody seems happy so far.
Yeah.
Now we're going to do a delete operation. We're going to go through all the selections. There are 4 of those. We're going to do a Q delete, apply it. Let's just run.
Now our 4 pieces should have been removed.
It looks like they were.
So the red was gone and the red field. We have a method that's missing, don't we?
I think we do. We certainly are clearing, seeing the fields are not there anymore. And
it's a little hard when we've been stepping through to remember everything we cut, but that does look like it achieved what we were after.
Let's go in and undo the multi-select cut operation, like that. And yeah, we can do it one more time. But basically that's it. So we did the cut. The other thing is that should have deleted the undo. So now if I come in and I say, let's do this and hit the enter, and I hit cut now, it should take just these 3. And I guess I'll just hit run. Yeah, see it? Just took those 3 right there.
Okay.
Okay. Undo. What happens if I paste?
We haven't got a paste yet.
I want to know what's on the clipboard. What happens if I paste right here? Is this going to hang everything? I think it might. Because there's a chance it's going to go to Visual Studio, which is locked up, and say, give it to me now, right? And that instance is not responding because I'm debugging. So I'm not going to paste here. I'm just going to run. What am I going to do here? I'm going to cancel this line out. So we don't cancel it. So the real paste goes in. Let's see if we see those 3. There we go. The 3 are there. This is the text version of it, right, where we added a character.
See, that's pretty cool just by itself. That is pretty cool, because we've already assembled the text as we would have wanted it to be omitted, at least this version. Yeah. So now you can go copy this, copy this, copy this, copy this, copy this, copy this, paste.
Not bad.
Out it comes.
All right, so let's go in. Let's do it again, though. Do I have my breakpoint still in here? We do. All right, let's do it again. Paste. Let's come in here and say multi-select from clipboard. And let's step through it. Step. Let's go into this. There's data object. Data present. Oh, did I copy something else to the clipboard? Maybe I did. Let's just run. And let's try again. I probably copied something else to the clipboard. Let's do it again. So here we go. 1. That was just enter because I had no selection. 2, 3. You know what? Let's do our clear selection button. Let's hit that. Clear selection. Here's the code we wrote. Multi-select clear. It's going to clear the selections out. Remove multi-select. This is where it goes in and removes the object from the storage on the active text view. All right, one more time. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to highlight that. 1, 2, 3. Paste. What? Let's try that again. 1, 2. Looks like we got a logic error. And then paste. Totally repeatable. Why is that failing? Let's go set a breakpoint in our add and see what's happening. Okay, add. It is valid. It is real. And we're doing add selection. How many elements?
The only thing we
inside?
changed just recently
7.
was the paste logic.
It's got 7 elements inside of it. This is confusing to me because it shouldn't have 7 inside of it. What's wrong with our clear? Why did the clear seem to fail? You said the only thing I changed is what?
Well, I thought the only thing you changed was that you added some implementation to the paste, but at the same time, excuse me, we did execute a clear for the first time. So
yeah, I think there's something wrong with the clear. That's my sense. Is what the problem is here. Let's just although the remove multi-select looks like it is like definitely correct. This should totally work. So we need to, I think, test that. But so add selection is, I'm just going to let this run. Let's go hit clear again. There's clear. Clear that breakpoint for now. And remove multi-select. And now the call to this should come back with nothing. It's null. So why?
okay.
Oops. Oh, I'm stepping way in. Stepping in the CodeRush.
Is there a possibility that we're removing it from the active text document, the active text view, but we're still maintaining a reference to it elsewhere so that we re-add to it and then re-add that same one?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. We're in here. I'm now hitting it. It's null. We're creating it. This is all correct. I wonder if we got into one of those weird states of from edit and continue that I sometimes get into. So now we're calling add selection. Let's run it. Let's try it one more time. Add. Let's clear this breakpoint here. Well, actually, let's go down and see what we got here. Multi-select. Should go. Only got one now. So yeah, I'm wondering if we got into one of these weird states that is. Let's come down here. And now let's come in here and paste. Ah!
Okay, but we did alter the paste logic, so perhaps that's the reason for the phrase multi-select being in there instead.
Oh, well, wait, but I've got a breakpoint here. I should totally, multi-select is on clipboard, it seems to be failing. Is that what's happening? Let's set a breakpoint here.
Or is something else intercepting first and then denying us the chance?
Let's see. It's is on clipboard is returning false. Get data present is not there. Why is it? Oh, because I didn't copy.
Hang on, it's not. Does get data present return the actual Boolean, or does it return the data?
I'm pretty sure it's a Boolean. I didn't copy. That's the problem, Rory. I'm selecting but not copying. It's user error.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, okay.
I hit. Yeah. So the selections exist, right? We're not seeing them yet, but I'm going to hit copy, and now I'm going to hit paste. Now this is going to return true. See, now we're in it.
Okay.
It was user error. My bad.
So where does the phrase multi-select come from as text injected?
It was because that was on the real clipboard. I never hit copy. I made all these selections, and it was never changing the keyboard. It was my total mistake, right?
And once we implement the visual aspect, that'll be a bit more clear anyway.
Now, one thing though, check this out. Multi-select from clipboard is coming back no. What do we have? Clipboard contains, oh, what do we have? I think it's something that said contains, hold on, let me just find it in the method. Well, multi-select is on clipboard, that's the piece. Where's the watch window? Multi-select is not, oh, did I just copy something in clipboard again? Ugh. All right, hold on, run it. I got to remember not to do that. All right, let's hit copy because that still exists. Okay, and let's go to. Hold on. What is this?
This is the difficulty when you're writing a clipboard function or clipboard-related function, but you're then using the clipboard in your other instance as well.
Yeah, it's a little bit there. Okay, so let's hit paste now. And now, null, but what's our watch say? Refresh. True. Multi-select is on clipboard, but this is returning null. Let's go dive in and see what's going on. Get data present, and then it just returns null. Let's try this. Let's come back up here. This is the value of doing this in advance. Stuff that takes a long time to figure out suddenly happens in seconds when there's been preparation. File not found exception occurred. Could not load file or assembly. It's trying to deserialize, and it has no idea where the assembly is, even though we're actually in it.
Wow.
It's an exception that's being thrown and swallowed up by the call to get data. We never see the exception. The only way to see it is to turn on exceptions like we just did. In fact, when I was first doing this, there were some problems with my serialization as well, and we may see some of those depending on how long we go. So what we need to do next is we need to fix that. So let's run, but we're gonna have to help it load and find this assembly so it can deserialize. There may be, by the way, I'm going to undo this. I'm going to save. I'm going to close this down, and let's fix that. So what we want to do is go over into plugin 1 right here. And inside of our initialization, we want to go in and we want to add some code that is going to help the .NET resolve where the assembly is. So it's going to be something like this. Appdomain.currentDomain.assembly resolve plus equals tab, and let's remove that type qualifier, and let's actually move this down here. Let's do the opposite of this. Oops, let's come down in here. Tab is easy, but I think that it doesn't do that. All right, let's go to finalize plugin. That's something we should fix, isn't it? And let's do the minus equals. And then inside here, we want to do something like this. We want to say if the args.name, well, we set a breakpoint here. We'll write the code when we get there. Well, the essence of it is, here's what's going to happen. When this comes in, the args.name isn't going to be just the name of the assembly. It's going to be like the full-on name of the assembly. If you ever worked with this,
like a version number.
Exactly.
And, it's a small part of assigning if it's there. And
right. Exactly. So what I'm really interested in more something like this is it equal to the same name as what we're in? And I actually don't want to like this gets fired lots of times whenever the assembly is being resolved. And what I really want to do is I want to just calculate this once, and I don't want to like do this a whole bunch of times. So I'm going to do this. This assembly name. You can also hard code it, but I kind of want to make it independent of that. So we say path.get. Oh, let's go in here. We need to do system.io. Path.get file. Get file name without extension. There it is, right there. And we're going to say type of this plugin .assembly .codebase. There's also a full name as well, which I think is about the same. I forget what the difference is between these two. I'm just going to use codebase for now. Is what I'm going to do. So that's the assembly name. Just clear that as a field. And then down in here, we're going to say if that's not null and the args this part right here, args.name starts with assembly name. Then what we're going to do is we're going to return essentially this bit right here. And then otherwise we'll just return that. So that will now help it resolve that, and that may be all we need to solve that cut, copy, paste problem. So let's run that real quickly and test that. And then after that, we get done with that, let's figure out how to paint on this thing. Excuse me. That's my cold. That's my allergies. All right, so object initializer test. So notice what happened there last time, right? The text came through when we pasted as text only. That still worked because it didn't need an assembly to resolve it. It was only later on that it needed it, right? And that's why I needed to resolve that assembly. So let's go ahead and we'll do it one more time. Select, enter, select, enter, select, enter. Hit copy, Control C. Now come down here, Control V to paste. And now, please work. It's real. Count 3. See it?
Yeah.
Is that nice? Okay, now we can do something like, whatever we want, intelligent here. I guess what we'll do for right now is I'll just come in there and say CodeRush. We'll do something simple. .text document and local. And then we'll come down here and say this dot insert text at the document.activeViews.caret.source point. That's where the caret is, and then we're going to say multiselect.toText. What?
I think we have it for a partial, but not for the entire thing.
Or it's private. I think we declared it twice. I think it's just private. Is that the problem? It's private. Lame.
There we go.
Oh, it's requiring a rewrite. So let's just do this. Okay. Something. And then we'll run. But the point is it's now working. Okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. And then, oh wait, we got a second paste. We got a second paste come in.
Cancel the, you stopped canceling the default, didn't you?
You're absolutely correct. I did not. Let's go back over here again. Let's look at our paste. That was the cancel default. So we have to do that. So let's say breakpoint here, cancel the defaults. Come back in here. We'll say paste. It wasn't on the clipboard. Something else was. Hold on. One more time. Select. Boom. Orange. Blue. Whoops. All right. Fine. We got those. So now we'll come down in here and we'll say paste. Oh, I didn't hit copy. Hit copy. Oh,
revolutionary new functionality requires a slight change in usage.
And now paste. Here we go. Well, part of the problem is we don't have visualization yet. Once we have visualization, we will probably not be making these mistakes. Cancel default. And I'll just run it. And now we have awesome coming in. Okay, not bad. I know people are out there thinking, okay, not bad, but Mark, could you please make it really better? There's the clear. We know clear now works. I'm pretty sure clear works. I'm in here, enter, red, blue, orange. And then here, paste. There's awesome. By the way, let's just go with, let me grab a new instance of Notepad. Pop it out over here. Let's paste. And then we have this. Why do we have so much?
We didn't clear.
Maybe I didn't.
That's fine.
Let's double check it. Make sure that is in fact the case. Clear. I just hit the clear button. Now we can enter, enter, enter. Paste here goes to awesome. Paste over here. What?
Ooh.
Why is that? It gets the first bits, but these other ones are odd. Where are those coming from? Let's figure out why that's failing. That's totally surprising me and should not be there. Yeah, I'm a little bit stunned on that. Actually, before I do that, I want to show something else. I want to show. Let's come back and let's solve this problem in a bit because I need to think about this. Before I do that, though, I want to show Oh, wait. Could it be related? I don't know if it could or not. There's another problem, though. It might be related to this. And the problem goes like this. Select. No, I don't think it is. But OK, so select, hit enter, select, hit enter. And here, let's hit copy.
Yes.
So here, what happened? We copied this and this to the clipboard, but then, or to our multi-select piece.
Standard copy also kicked in.
Standard copy, the default behavior also kicked in. Let me show you how to shut that down. I want to just show you that quickly. So over here in plugin 1, yeah, we're in the right spot. And we have to shut it down here and here. These are the two places to shut it down. So we'll come over here, hit copy. Here's what we need to do. We need to come in here and say ea.cancel event. And this determines whether the event should be canceled. So if we see edit copy and we say cancel event is true, then that means no other plugin will see the edit copy command as it comes through in this particular
now,
context.
Doesn't that assume that the other plugin will fire after this one? Whereas it could be happening in the other order.
Oh, yes, it absolutely does. That there is that issue, and I wish you hadn't said that because I don't have an answer for that. So that's something we'll have to research, and I think that the way out of that is to make this a system plugin, and then that means it's guaranteed to be loaded first. I think. There are also, I believe there are also ways, it looks like Skorkin is in watching. Skorkin, so there's the question to you. Is there a way, so Skorkin's one of our lead devs, and Skorkin, is there a way to determine the order in which an event is listened to? In other words, priority. And I think there is. I just don't want to research it right now. I think there's a way to say, I want to be the very first thing that gets this event. I think there's a way to do that. And so that's a question I'm going to pass over to Skorkin, and if he can research that and get us an answer before we're done, that would be awesome. Okay, so we had that other problem, though. I still want to come back to that later in a second, is what I want to do. I don't think this fix is related to it. I'm worried about time on it. So let's do this. Whose selection exists. We can fix this really quickly too, by the way. ea.satisfied equals multi-select dot, no, it's here. Multi-selection exists on, that's the piece we want to do. That's what we call. So we can fix that very quickly. What do you think, Rory? Should I do visualization, or do you want to do you want to see what we can figure out what's going on with that problem with that? We need the
I don't mind. How long do you reckon we need to take for visualization? Is that a part 2, or is that a cover?
I think I can do visualization in 30 minutes or less, which is all in this session is what I'm thinking. That's what I think I can do. This other thing I'm not so sure about here. Results. I'm just trying to figure out results equals text. Yeah, so there's nothing, that's all fine and normal. And results selection plus 2 text. This looks all normal too, so it looks like we actually have extra selections inside of here is what it looks like, or alternatively the range is incorrect in one of the pieces. I guess we can step through it. From clipboard. Yeah, as multi-select.
So this was something that was only a problem when we were pasting into Notepad. It was fine when we would paste elsewhere.
It seemed fine the first time we did it. It definitely is an odd thing. Let's try and fix it right now. We'll run it. We'll set a few breakpoints. We'll see what we can do to duplicate it. So I'm going to hit Control. Let's verify the clear is in fact working. In fact, actually, the way we can do it is when we hit Copy here. When we do Add, we should see this bit of code on our first add. So I just hit clear button. Now I'm going to hit the add. There we go. So it is in fact null from here. Boom, 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 and we do an add selection on it, and its count is 1 as we're expecting. Let's keep running. Let's come down here. Hit the add button. Oh shoot! Did I not? I just did an add on it twice in the same range. which, by the way, is something else we should work on too, is making sure that the range is not, we're not overlapping the range. Let me hit it one more time. And add selection, and here multi-select, I bet it's at 3 because I've added it several times. So we need some code in add selection to see if it is already overlapping. So I'm going to say to do check to see if this range overlaps any existing ranges. And I'll do this offline before I submit it to you. Mm-hmm. So we'll fix this in a bit. So let's keep running. Let's go back. I want to clear this and then very carefully add these one at a time. So I hit the clear button. We're going to hit one there and that there. Okay, one here and run it. One here and run it. Actually, just verify we should now have 3. We have 3 pieces inside of there. And now let's hit copy to clipboard, hit the copy key, Control C, and then to text. So here we have this, selections count as 3. Well, that's all correct. Red brush, blue brush, orange brush, exactly what we're expecting. So there's the toText-call, that's all good. So that's in there, then it should work. So if we go in to Notepad now,
yep,
we do a paste, it works. Okay. I wonder if it has something to do with here. If we paste here, we did that, and then we come over here and paste. Was there something corrupting there? No. All right, so now it just works the way we expected.
The other problem was, didn't you copy the red, copy the blue, and then, sorry, you added the red, added the blue, and then issued the copy command on the orange line.
Yeah, I don't know if I did or not. I don't remember doing it for that particular time. But at any rate, okay. So let's do, here's what we have. We have about 26 minutes left before we're done with, like, I want to put a limit on this about 2 hours. So we've got about 26 minutes left, and I kind of want to push through, and I want to say, okay, let's see what we can do here in terms of doing the painting. Before I do that, I want to show you a feature in CodeRush called QuickNav. QuickNav allows me to go find things I'm interested in. Here I typed in IB, and it's suggesting initialize brushes. If I hold the Control key down, QuickNav does this.
That's right. Jumps to the location, previews it, and highlights it on screen for you, so you can see where on the screen it is.
Yeah, I want to borrow this and use it to do our highlighting is what I want to do. Okay? Sure. So that's called a block highlighter. Let's close this down. And let's go into partial selection. We're going to add a, let's wait till we're done here. All right, we're going to add a new private field type block highlighter. Where is that thing located? Plugin core, right? And we'll call this the, I'm going to call the selection highlighter. That's what I'll call it. Okay? And then we need like a method in here to, oh, this, I do not want this to be serialized. So we'll say non-serialized. Okay, for that piece right there. And then I want to come in and I want to say, I want a method that says add adornment, or add highlighter, like that. And inside here we're going to say selection highlighter is equal to a new block highlighter. And we're going to set some properties on this. So selection bars, true source rate, block selection bars around the upper left and bottom right corner selection. I like that. Let's do that. Now this is kind of an animating kind of thing, but I don't think we're going to specifically make use of the animation aspect of it. Fill range, what's this? Highlight first range policy. And the line color. I think this is defaulting to true is what I think. outline range of true, highlight will be outline color. Okay, let's do this. Outline range will be true. And so this fill range, we're going to set that in true anyway, even though I think it defaults to true. And what else? Selection bar style is equal to, make it thin. Let's see how we like that. And get rid of those. And we will tell it the range that we want to select. So we'll say select, range right there. We need a text view, which I don't have yet. Visual Studio. Okay, and we take a range. The source range is next. So that we already have. We have the range.
Mm-hmm.
The color, so color that red. Hold on, something's not happy. System drawing, is that what it is actually? It needs there? Is it system drawing color? It's not. It's system DevExpress platform drawing color. Let's get rid of that. Why doesn't Visual Studio get that? That's weird. All right. So anyway, it's DevExpress.dxcore.platform. Oh, is that right? Platform? Looks like it's not. That's why I didn't get it, because it's not in the drawing.color. That's what it is, I think. Platform, DevExpress. Why doesn't it see platform here? I wonder if it's because, hold on a second. It's really, really weird. I don't understand why it's not seeing that. That is really odd to me that I don't see it.
Is it maybe not in the default? Is there another assembly needs adding?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Let's.
I seem to remember that might be an additional. Which one was it? It makes sense because there's a lot of plugins that don't involve drawing of any kind. It's purely refactorings and things like that.
That may be it. All right, so let's do this. We want to add a reference to DevExpress DXCore platform. So let's go over here. Okay, so I said it was going to. Oh, that's not. Oh, yeah, this is the thing that. This, you know.
Yeah.
This dialog is not that hard to fix. I just. Seriously. And if I just had source code, it would be so easy. Doing this as a fixing this plugin is so hard. But.
You can't sort it till it's complete filling it.
Yeah, you have to replace everything. I think it's like, I remember when they were talking about how awesome it would be in Visual Studio 10, and I was like, no, you still need this and this, you still need it, you know, and it's like, oh well. So, all right, so what do we say? DevExpress, let's see, are we done yet? We can't sort yet, so we're not done. Or are we done now? I think we're done. All right, so let's go in DevExpress.dxcore. No, are we done? We're not done yet. Wait, no, that's not it. Oh, there we go. Now we can do it. Okay, fine. All right, yeah, so painful. It's like, come on.
No text search either. No filter.
Yeah, I know. That was
I mean, please.
I was bitching about. I mean, seriously, I'm like, all right, platform. I think this is what we need. DevExpress DXCore platform, and hopefully that'll be the magic piece that we need.
I think that's the one. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I thought that was going to be in there. All right, so now let's see what's going on. Now we're happy. Yay. Okay, so let's see if I can do a remove type qualifier. All right, so color red. Then what else do we need? The fill opacity. So what's the opacity? Oh, wait, interesting. What's fill range? So the source range will be filled. Interesting. I wonder if this overrides that, or is there another overload? There's not. All right, so we'll say fill opacity. So we'll say it's like 10%, and the border opacity, we'll say it's like 30%, like that. And we'll do that. So there is we're adding the highlighter, and then we also need one to remove it as well when it's time to remove it. Let's make this public. Where is that other one, that to text? I want to make that one public too. That made me angry that this was private. There we go. I hate that you can't change that in edit continue. And okay, so now we can come over and plug in one. Remember our paste that we were trying where we put in awesome. What we really wanted to do was do something real. There we go. So we'll do this for now. We'll just say multi-select dot to text. However, we are going to probably, to do more intelligent pastes, go here. Okay? So that's what's happening there. So wait, back over in partial selection, we need a text view is what we need. So let's declare that as local. Let's remove that. Let's promote to field. Whoops, not promote to field. I want to promote it to parameter. There we go. So there's add highlighter, and we want to add the highlighter when we create a new selection, which is going to be here. So right around here, we want to come in and we want to say, whoops, partial selection dot add highlighter, and we will pass in the active view. Okay, so that's going to add the highlighter for us, and that's it. And the other thing we need to do is we need this ability to remove it as well. And we need to remove, where's our to-do? This to-do right here, we'll need to remove it if we have any overlap because we don't want to have the same thing overlapping. So we'll need to remove that a little bit later. So we'll work on that. And then we also need to remove it when we do clear. We need something here as well. We need something that says for each partial selection and selection dot remove highlighter, like that. And so let's declare that. There's our remove highlighter. And inside here, what we want to do is check to see if selection highlighter is not null. Actually, yeah, then we'll come in here and we're going to say, let's call dispose selection adornment. It's going to get rid of it. And then we can, let's do this. We're going to set that to null. In fact, we should call this from here, like that. Okay, and let's run that and see if that works. I think it'll work. I hope it will work. If that doesn't, then I have to rethink things. Oh, build errors. Oh, you know what? Oh wait, I want to just hold on. What do we got? Does not contain red.
That cannot be right, surely.
No, it is. The reason why is because this is coming from our independent platform. It was colors, not color, that I needed to change.
Fair enough.
Let's change this anyway. I kind of like that. All right, so we'll do that for a color. Now it's changed it. This is the code generation issue. It's changed it. We're just going to do this instead. We'll bring back to color. So the code generation, the reason what's going on here is our color picker doesn't understand our platform independent color. It will in 11.2, but it doesn't yet. And the reason why is because it has to understand these different color objects. There are a lot of different color objects that are out there. However, what we can do is in the code generated, because it doesn't understand it, it says, well, maybe you're talking about system drawing. We'll just take that out and still it'll work. Because the CodeRush color object does have a from ARGB call that's here. And this is for that platform independent drawing. Cool. Let's run it and see if it works. Please work. What's our time? 15 minutes to spare if it works. We'll be floating in extra time.
Perhaps this is a good time to mention that we are quite happy to answer any questions that people have. If we've skipped over something a little quick, or you'd like to ask, can something be expanded hypothetically in another direction, feel free to add a question to the console there, and we'll get that back to that as soon as we can.
Yeah, and there's another thought I'm just having too, is that, how we're saying if the selection doesn't exist, we use selection increase. We should probably check to see if it's a member, and if it's a member, get its full block cut range.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so we go from here to here instead. But anyway, let's do this. Come down here, hit enter. Okay, run. Oh, you know what else I want to do? caret dot move to, wait, let's not do it here, let's do it here. Move to, where's my section selection, there it is, dot range dot top. I want to move the caret to the top of selection, so if I do this, like if I'm here, and I select it, I want to go there. So then I can quickly go to, from member to member, like this. I want to go member to member, boom, 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 hit the key,
yeah.
highlight it. Like that. Make sense? All right.
Yep.
So okay, let's clear this, and run. Yeah, I find, there you go, look at that. Did you see that, Roy? If you say
nice.
Please work, it actually has some impact. Okay?
Yeah.
Take this piece right here, hit the plus key, come here, hit the plus key, right? See, like here, I want to get full block cut range. It's going to actually go up here.
But this is the wonderful visual feedback that shows you we did an expansion, increased selection around the method itself, and it shows you exactly what is being selected.
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. Hit the enter key here, grabs the whole thing using selection expand. That's not bad. Okay.
Such a cool feature.
Let's copy it to the clipboard. Now let's go into our notepad.
So we got 3 names of items, 2 explicit methods end to end.
And I just pasted, and let's look at what we've got in the results. Red, blue, orange.
I missed out the comment. I didn't see that. It was hidden at the time. So yeah, so it's 3 items, 3 individual variable names, 1 partial comment, and 2 methods.
Impressive.
It's pretty damn good.
Let's see if clear works. Ah, I love it. I love it.
And the crowd goes wild.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. So let's look at
really cool.
Let's do a little bit of a review on this, okay? Because I said here's what we're going to learn, and I think I commented somewhere in here. Here we go. The block highlighter. I just showed you that. We'll look at that. Attached storage, intercepting commands, and some clipboard magic. Basically, the real magic there was, well, we had to resolve the real key on that clipboard stuff. Let's see, where is it? Is it from clipboard inside here? Where is that? From clipboard. Okay. So the real magic, or the real key, and when you're working with the clipboard, is knowing that exceptions are thrown and caught in this call to get data.
Yeah.
Kind of a mistake, it feels like to me. Kind of feels like a mistake. It's going to pass null back no matter what. Just let the exception go up. It seems like it's an architectural mistake. However, what you do is you come into debug and you choose exceptions, and you because I was also getting serialization exceptions before. When I didn't have this marked as non-serialized, even though it was private, it was saying it couldn't figure out how to create a block highlighter. I was like, it was not marked as serializable. I was like, what? It's private. I was angry and yelling, and it was not a good day. But things are better now. I think things feel better. So that's the clipboard magic piece. The block highlighter. So let's look at the block highlighter. What did we just do? We declared it. We have a call to add highlighter. We call add highlighter whenever we add a new selection. Add highlighter just comes in here, creates a new block highlighter, sets some properties, and then we call select on it and pass in the text view. And that takes care of adding the adornment, all the other stuff that we need to do, and the view, the look, and everything like that. There is a visualization bug, a cosmetic visualization bug with the block highlighter that we're going to fix for the next version. I discovered it earlier today. I'll show it to you. We're running. We can actually show it. Let's go over in here, and let's select from here to here. And let's hit the key and watch what happens. See this? So technically, it's kind of right, but you see right here, there's a little bit of a line right there.
Oh, yeah.
Right there, I think I can zoom in with the Windows plus key. Can I do that?
Windows mouse scroll.
Oh, you know what? I'll just zoom in with Control. There you can see it. See what's happening right here? This.
Yeah, it's a thin sliver just to the left of that third line.
Yeah, that's garbage. And there are other variations. There are other variations of that as well. So.
Well, that's cool. That's all in the DX core. So when that gets fixed, that'll fix it for any plugin that's using that, which means that the guys who are making the plugins don't have to concentrate on that.
Right.
They can just get on with the business of making cool plugins that do cool stuff like this.
Right. And I'm waiting for my system to respond. I've got the magnifiers on my other window. Great. I just want to say idiots right now. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to insult anybody. Seriously. Oh, okay, finally. All right. So yeah, it showed up on another one of the monitors. All right. So I think we're going to say kind of done with this feature for now. There's some code I'm going to write in the before I hand this off to Rory. I'm going to write the code that handles overlaps. So when we go from here to here, it just resolves it. Plus, I'm going to write the code that that gets the that figures out what the element types are for these pieces as you add them, so that we can do things like say, oh, it only contains members and things like that, and then we can act on that. And probably the last thing I'll do, well, I want to get this code to you today, but be aware that I may make changes to this. We may update this in a way that is where we may break this into two DLLs. I think I want to have one DLL that just has these two pieces in it, and that this DLL is going to eventually be brought into the core, and so that may also impact the code that we wrote for the assembly resolve. So I think what's going to happen is we may this may change as well. I need to do give this some thought and consult with the other devs on the team and see what we want to do with this in terms of how we move it in. But I will give you the source code in about an hour is what I'm saying. An hour from now I'll give you source code so you'll be able to actually try this and play with this and deal with this multi-select, copy, and cut. And let's do this for real. Let's do a real scenario. So let's say we want to grab everything with red brush in it, right? So we'll come in here, we'll use selection increase, then I'll hit the add to selection piece. We'll go use tab to next reference. We'll use selection increase here until we get the piece I want, and then I'll do that there, and then I'll hit cut. And notice it doesn't get rid of the lines there. Oh, cut also doesn't clear the selection. My bad.
Oh well.
What do you mean, oh well? We got 7 minutes. All right, let's fix that. Let's go fix that cut.
What I'm loving, and this is something people should really take note of, is that every time we find something that isn't quite perfect, just look how quick it is to fix because of all the investment that's been gone on in the DX core. We're not writing any huge algorithms this time. I know people have sort of mentioned in the past that that's something they maybe want to avoid in these kind of things. We're just leveraging all that excellent work that's gone on and been put into the framework already. And it's just so easy to add these new pieces or to make these corrections. This is a framework which is great fun to play with, especially when you use the style of the edit and continue style. You can just go exploring, all these events, all of this data that you've got available to you, all of the structures that are built representing your code. It is a wonderful framework to work with, and you really should give it a little look if you haven't already.
All right, so here's the cut. Cut. We're inside here. Remove multi-select. What's that do? That just removes the object. What's delete do? Delete applied queue and edits. I need another command in here. Do I have a wait? Do I have a clear? I have clear. What's going on with delete? Delete does not remove any of the pieces. So clear is what we need. And step inside the clear. And we're already calling remove highlighter. That's what I wanted to make sure we were doing. Let's run it. So we just needed to call clear on it. Okay, so there the cut worked. So now we don't have the highlighting in the code anymore. And now we can go to our new class and come in and paste. That's because I copied that to the clipboard, isn't it? In the meantime, so let's try one more time. Hold on. All right. So let's come down in here, and we'll say, where is it? Right up here. So say select. Okay, there we go. I didn't even do selection increase. That one, and then this one. Oops, I hit it twice. Okay, so we're going to get 2 of these now, I think. Yeah, cut. There's the cut, and it looks like I lost the end of that too. Let me undo that. Why did I lose the end? All right, let's do one more time. Hold on. All right. 1, 2. That protection against multi-selection should solve it. So cut, And now the cut does not take out the M like it did the time before. I think it's because I hit it twice. Create my new class, and now paste. And the only thing that's missing is the format of the piece, but we can, like you say, we can come in here and we can fix that as well in the paste. But with that, we're at about, hour and 56. I'm going to say this is a good amount of time that we spent doing this. The pieces we learned about, attached storage, we saw that. Intercepting commands, we saw how to do that, and the clipboard stuff. And that's it. So I will say we're wrapping up and pass over to Amanda, who should be moving to her microphone and turning it on as we speak. And I just heard the sound of her hand moving away from the microphone. Hey, Roy, do we have any other questions before we shut down?
No other questions. We're all pretty much good to go.
All right. All right. So we'll see you next week, I think, and we'll have something new and exciting then.
Awesome.
Amanda? Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. All right, everybody. So we have a whole lineup of webinars posted throughout October. We have amazing guest presenters and, of course, DevExpress product training. So check them out and register at devexpress.com/webinars. And then tomorrow, August 18th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, XPO Profiler will demonstrate several practical scenarios of using XPO Profiler to detect problems in your XPO applications with Frameworks Evangelist Apostolos Bekiaris. And then also we want your feedback. We're always looking to improve and want to target topics that our customers and the developer community are interested in. If you have feedback or suggestions on topics you'd like to see, please email me at webinars@devexpress.com. All right, if you missed anything from this webinar or you want to review any previous webinars, visit us on the DevExpress channel at tv.devexpress.com. All righty, thanks so much to Mark and Rory. Thank you all for joining us, and thanks for choosing DevExpress.